Us.
Us.
How you doing?
Good to go when we back on the show.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
Yeah. So,
Wanna like always give a quick shout out to our Almighty for giving us an opportunity to be able to breathe today.
oh man.
You know, I know a lot of us might be in pain. A lot of us might be struggling. A lot of us might be going through mental anguish. A lot of us might be going through stress, anxiety, and or depression. But amongst all things, we are still alive. At least we're alive to endure these things, meaning that it couldn't kill us. So we're still here.
Amen.
So big blessing to this show. Big blessing to the brother Armando. Big blessing to my students. Big blessings to San Pedro de Macorís, man. I love all of y'all, man. Y'all, y'all really show what it is to live a real proverb that it takes a village to raise a child. San Pedro raised this New York born kid and turned me into a man of actual culturism, morals, and respect.
Amen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Scully Tone, my Trinidadian brother. Yeah.
Skeleton, what's going on, brother? Shout out.
Yup. Yeah. So tonight, let's see. So how's the weather up in New York?
It feels like fall,
Yeah. I mean, it rained a lot. It rained earlier today here in Philadelphia.
so it might come up this way.
Technically, it's like between New York and Philadelphia, we kind of have like the same weather almost. Because I don't know, like the way on the map where it shows New York City and then Philadelphia, because Philadelphia is more inward than New York got more harbors and everything like that.
Right.
So since Philadelphia is really inward, I mean, still it'll be like okay, it's still we will still get the same type of weather, more or less.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
hmm Oh, I talked to him take, and he's in Nepal right now.
Okay.
So yeah, so he actually showed me a picture and everything like that, and the mountains look beautiful out there. So you know, may he stay blessed while he's spreading the gospel to the people in Nepal.
Blessings and shout out to him and a big us. You know, that brother right there has a true martial arts spirit, and
Yes,
there's very few people that I consider martial artists that have real martial arts spirit. A lot of people
exactly.
are in martial arts because their parents forced them. Other people are in the martial arts because they're scared for their life. Other people are in martial arts for different things and different reasons. But you can tell when somebody just genuinely lives and breathes martial arts, and he embodies that. Facts.
I mean, this is what I'm thinking. If I do make a trip to Santo Domingo, right? What I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do my research. I might be in Bonao and I might be in San Pedro. So I will actually do some investigation on my own and try to link up with the martial arts masters out there to see if we could actually get the original backstory on how martial arts came to the Dominican Republic.
That'd be nice.
Yes, but while we're here in the stateside, we can still try to reach out to whoever on WhatsApp or anything like that. So it's going to be an ongoing thing until we actually get that story out there.
Yeah, get bits and pieces of information until we finally come across something solid, and or with these pieces put together, it'll probably show us, reveal a bigger side of the puzzle.
Exactly. I like the way that you think.
Hoorah!
Yep.
My my grandma, may she rest in peace, from my mother's side, she used to tell me that I would have made a great detective because I have a knack for following clues. And I told her that, you're right, but I don't think I would ever work for the police department. They're too corrupt.
I mean, it depends. It depends because think about it. Like, I have a friend, right? And his father was was a highly decorated cop in the NYPD. Now, he was one of the good guys because, and it says that a lot of law enforcement agencies still study his tactics to this day because the reason why he was decorated is because he saved a lot of kids' lives from these predators.
That's my kind of guy.
Yeah, he was like he was a good dude and everything like that, and when he passed away, it was like I lost a father because me and my friend and in our neighborhood and everything like that, we rode together like brothers. You know what I mean? And we was best friends and such. And then the thing is though, when he passed, I couldn't even go there to be there with my homies and stuff. It was like that. So and his birthday was on September 11th. So
This is the
you
problem
know,
with being a cop. You
yeah,
are you are sworn under oath to that badge to uphold
right,
the laws. So
right,
the problem with being a good cop is that the only way you can actually be a good cop is if you bust all the corrupt cops around you, because you're going to see
right,
corruption, and if you don't do nothing about it, the Bible says you're just as guilty as that sin that man committed. So it's like this: I could never be
yep,
a cop for the simple fact
right,
that, not that I'm biased or racist. I'm not racist. Biased or have favoritism towards anyone, but I'm not the one to, like. I don't want to accuse nobody of whatever sins they're committing. That's not my job. My job is to help you repent of the sin that you're committing so that you can do better for yourself. I'm saying, as opposed to,
exactly,
a cop is supposed to uphold the law, and if there's corrupt cops around them, he's supposed to bring them in. So it's like you could be a
right,
good cop, but if you're a good cop and there's bad cops around you, you're now a bad cop for not bringing those bad cops in.
right.
That's a conflict of interest. That's the problem.
Yes, it is.
So if I were to become a cop, I would have to be an internal affairs cop, so I can bust on all these officers that are abusing the law and taking advantage of the fact that they think they have power behind a badge.
Yeah,
Just saying.
got you.
Because some people might say that I'm coming off as violent against law enforcement, and that's not the case. The difference between the bird's eye view is that I don't view police like how civilians view police. I look at them like civilians that have the right to wear a gun. They're not military to me. You know what I'm saying? They're not no special agency to me. You're a state agency. You know what I'm saying? You abide by the law of the people. Y'all want to turn around and abuse the people, thinking that they don't know their rights, but you're not supposed to abuse anybody's human rights. Like, that's where they messed up in this country.
Yes, I totally agree with that because This been instances when it was like the stop and frisk laws that I've got
Sure.
stopped like that I got stopped on when I was living in New York. That I got stopped several times just for they say because I always fit the description.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, I know a black since I'm a black Dominican and I'm 6'4". Yeah, I
Especially after
really
the
fit the
pandemic, they
description.
probably thought you were one of those terrorists.
Well, actually, after the pandemic, I don't know. I haven't really had no. Whenever I go to New York, nobody says slack to me, so I can't really say that
No,
I've
not the
had.
pandemic. Not the pandemic. My bad. I mean, when the 9/11, the act of 9/11. You know what I'm saying? They would probably think saying you were a terrorist because you look like a Bengali or you look like you could be from that sort of the land. And it's like, damn,
I'm
why
like
do
me.
you have for everything? It's like, oh, because you look like you're a year tan, so that you might be from the desert. That's disrespectful.
I mean me personally. I never got that. The only thing I've gotten and that I've been mistaken of is like everything but Dominican. I've
Yeah.
been mistake. I've been mistake. I've been mistaken for a Panamanian,
Me too.
a Jamaican,
Me too.
a Haitian.
Nah, I've been
I,
told I'm
I,
Haitian, but
yeah, yeah. Somebody said, "Hey, Anthony Haitiano," because of the way I speak Spanish. All right, no, no,
exactly.
man.
I heard that too.
Um,
So that's how you both know you
um,
from San Pedro. I heard that too.
yep.
I heard that too.
Um,
They
all
were like, oh, tú tienes que ser haitiano. Mira cómo tú hablas. I'm like, oh, really? All right. Watch me get these
right,
studies. Watch me,
exactly.
watch me learn this Spanish and go crazy. Now it's me correcting
Yep,
people.
yep. Then I've been mistaken for somebody from Guinea, but you
Oh,
wouldn't. But yeah, nah. But you want to know what blew my mind?
yeah.
And I tell you, I've had Ethiopian and Eritrean women back when I was single.
Yeah.
They actually say, "Hey, you look nice." I was like, thank you. Where you from? I was like, I was born here, but my parents from the Dominican Republic. Like, geez, I actually thought you was Ethiopian.
I
Cause
thought I thought you was Moroccan, some shit like that.
yeah, it was like when they went up and they said that, right? I was like, okay. And I kid you not, Pete. I
Yeah.
had a female that hit me up from Ethiopia, and she was like, I thought you was Ethiopian." And this is around the time I had braids. I was like, wow. I was like,
Well,
oh,
you're
I
gonna
was
have to
like,
go
oh,
over there and find your twin.
yeah, but it's like, but then again, I want to stand out because, you know, I mean, I might, but then I might not because I don't know. I think I'll just blend into the scene in Ethiopia. I'm just saying.
You're gonna find your twin out there, and then you're gonna be like, oh, that's why they thought I was from here because this guy looks just
Yeah,
like me.
yeah, but but it's like the places I could say that I could blend in nicely without talking and everything like that would be San Pedro and Consuelo.
Word.
Yeah. One day when my dad was alive, he was like, "Yo, cuidado." I was like, "Why, Dad?" He was like, "They might try to kidnap you." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I wonder why." So growing up, right? My famous uncle, may he rest in peace, Tio Manolo. Me and my sister, we always used to wonder, like, why everybody mentions him? Like, we didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Growing up. But then it was told to us later on that it was like, okay, he was actually one of the first Dominicans, right? That actually hung out with Los Cocobos, right? They used to call him Cocobo, but he was never Cocobo. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
he was actually one of the first ones that learned English, learned how to read it and write it before anything. Played baseball in the Dominican League while serving the while serving in the military. So he was playing in the Dominican baseball leagues during like the 1960s or whatsoever, or 50s if I'm not mistaken.
Cool.
Yeah. So so a lot of people knew my uncle because of that. And then I guess of the stuff that he had done for the people in San Pedro. So, you know, in Consuelo, I mean. So I just know for a fact that whenever I used to go to Consuelo and I see him, I was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, Bendición Theo, how you doing? And we always used to chill and have a nice time or whatsoever. And then whenever you had like the Labor Day party up in Brooklyn, it used to be great because anybody who's anybody came to that party.
Cool.
It was actually good food, drinks, and everything like that. So and what else I'm about to say? But back to what I was saying that I blend in Consuelo, right? I mean, I when I was a teenager going up to manhood, for some reason, I'll be like, okay, my compadre was like, yo, like I don't know what anything, so he went up and he sent me with a woman to go to Consuelo, right? So when I was walking with a woman, I already knew for some reason, I guess because of past experiences and everything like that, I already knew the blocks to Consuelo. So I knew I had to go to my dad's house. And after that and everything like that, I I went up and I saw my dad's house. I was like, okay, this is nice and everything. So it was nice and everything. I saw the family and and then every time when I was like in my 20s, I met like a new cousin. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the last put.
Got cousins
This
coming
is
out the woodwork.
yeah. That's like okay. If I was to go by myself in Kosovo when I was single, and they're like, "Hey, this is a nice chick," it's like, "Yeah, she looks nice, right?" I was like, "Yeah, that's your cousin." I was like, "Crap." And then you have to go in and with the mean face. I'm like, "Dad, really? Like really?" I was like, "Okay, so Dad, who ain't my
Word.
cousin?" And then on top of it, you know one thing that I hate? They're like, okay, there'll be a female, right? She'll like she might look nice or whatever. And then you find out that she's your cousin two times. I was like, how'd that work?
Trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble in paradise.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I guess I'll have to go to another town then. Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Mhm. Nah, but you know what? The last time I was in Malecon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was actually fixing it and such.
Okay.
Yeah, that was last year. I don't know. And but then when I was in San Pedro in 2019, they were actually fixing the pipe gate. I was like, okay, they had that joint shut down and everything.
Yeah.
So
I got mad
yeah,
memories in that park, bro.
yo, I wanted to know what these. If you actually look at the San Pedro commercial, right? Like in the bicycle commercial, there was a guy that I knew, but I forgot what his name was. But he used to be on with the Coco and everything like that. He was actually cool. I wonder whatever happened to him. He had a beard. He was kind of short. But I remember every time in the pocket, he used to always
All right, check
make
it
the
out.
cocoa and everything. Yeah,
Check it out. Um, that video is older than me, obviously, but
yeah.
Johnny El Coquero that comes out in that video chopping the coconut. I think he's still out there. That's been the guy that's been the coquero there in that park for almost 40 years, maybe 50.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't see him the last time I was up in San Pedro. So I was like, okay. But every time I used to be up there in San Pedro, and I used to get like coconuts from him. He was always nice and everything like that.
Yeah, Johnny's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
Johnny's awesome. I
yep.
remember one time telling him that I was American, right? And he tells me in
Hmm.
English, porque le cocolo. He tells me in English, do not tell everybody you American. They might kidnap you. I was like,
Yo, he
okay,
al-
gracias.
yeah, it was like he already knew who I was just because I used to walk with my little cousin. I know he spoke English a little bit, and then most of the times like yeah, that. So I don't know if he had children or anything like that, but it was like another coquero that went up and made me some agua de coco. So I don't know if the young man was related to him or anything like that. But
Johnny and Coquero has
Johnny,
mad kids, bro.
wow,
I
I wonder how many.
don't know. A tribe
Yeah,
called
maybe.
what?
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Sure do. Back in 2 seconds. Gonna get some soda. On this edition of tonight's edition, I want to shout out my son Chase for his fourth birthday. Happy birthday to Chase.
Yep.
Um, I was gonna make a presentation from a video that I saw, and
Uh,
I figure that we could probably just show clips of the video and or just share the link for now, and then those that are in tune can check the video and see what I was talking about. There's at least 12 gadgets there that are very helpful for home safety as far as barricading your door, protecting your windows, carry-on gadgets, things that'll protect you and keep you safe.
yep.
Just to you know get on the topic of things because that's basically what the show is about. Martial arts is not just punching and kicking. Martial arts is the art of being martial minded, meaning someone who is militant minded, someone who is calm minded and ready for war. And war comes in many different formats, like someone trying to raid your house, trying to come through your door, trying to come through your window. So these are things that personally, as a Marine, I like to talk about because, you know, we are facing a pandemic, and it's not just of sickness. We're raising right now. There's a rising pandemic of unemployment, which is going to bring also an uproar of crime. And you don't want to fall a victim to a group of people who are thinking about going the crime route because they can't find a job. So you need to be able to protect your home to keep your family safe. It's really that simple. That part. Yep.
So, uh, so like, all right. When it comes to Dominican politics, and I know you lived there more than I in San Pedro at the time. Like in San Pedro, who has like most the influence? The politicians, the people who are rich, doctors and lawyers, or the regular people? I mean, in your time, that's what I want to know.
As far as what I remember of San Pedro,
Yeah,
you do know about the Masons, right?
yeah, and their building is right there, like that white building when you up in El Parque.
Yeah.
There were the Odd Fellas. The Odd
That was one
Fellas
of the,
was
that was one of the
that,
that
that
was
was
one of the first Messianic temples there. That one that's right there in El
exactly
Parque. That's been there for a long
exactly,
time.
and
It's been closed for a while.
yeah, it was like yeah, it
Go
was
ahead.
like
My bad, bro. Go ahead. Talk.
yeah, it was like my mother's godfather, Padrino, right? So when he passed away and everything like that, before he passed, I used to go see him, me and my mother, right? And whatsoever. On the wall, like in this house in Consuelo, right? It had like odd fellas. It had like the Mason sign. Now I never knew what it was until I actually saw that when I came to the United States. Then they started talking about the Masons and everything like that. I was like, oh, okay, so that what it was. So when I was walking around San Pedro like around 2012, and I saw that the Masons sign out there, I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know who brought in the Masons, but I do know that there were some Cocoros who was actually part of the Masons when they actually came to the Dominican Republic.
Yep. Um, Amongst that, a lot of politicians that came from America to DR to either help or align or whatever, they were Masons, and they would tell the presidents, that they should align themselves as well because that would make them closer in brotherhood. And of course,
Right.
us being Dominicans, we're kind-hearted and we're open-hearted to many things. So a lot of presidents in DR opened their heart to it, and then they started teaching it forward to the point where there's a Messianic temple in every province of Dominican Republic. In San Pedro, there's at least five
Yeah.
temples. There's at least five temples. Now,
Yeah.
there's a few that I bumped into um out of nowhere. There's one cerca del Malecón that's been abandoned for years. And my friends used to tell me that they would go inside with a flashlight and go down to the basement, and there was like some dungeon down there. I'm like, bro, stay away from that.
Yeah.
You don't know what day they're gonna go down there and do something, and you're there, and it's like, oh, look, a fresh sacrifice.
Right.
Don't do that. You don't know what they're doing. If you don't know what they're doing, get away from there. If you know what they're doing,
Yeah.
you're safe, then cool.
Yeah. It was like when I was in Jersey City, like right behind the police precinct, there was a Masonic lodge out there. I was like, okay, I'm good. Let's see.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
I had uncles that were very high ranking level Masons from Salcedo. Forget about it. Where the Hermanas
Oh
Mirabal are.
wow.
Yeah.
Right.
My great grandpa was a level 28 Mason. His brother Jose Francisco Ortega was a level 32 Mason, president of Salcedo for like 30 something years.
Wow.
So forget about it, bro. But then again, like I said, the Ortega family of Salcedo and Rancho, that whole El Rancho is almost Ortega. The whole El Rancho. That's all my family, bro. So
Wow.
imagine chasing me, saying that I'm your enemy, and you run me into El Rancho de Salcedo, where they all know me as Primito.
Wow. So, all right, a quick question. It's gonna be a year because since a guy died, you looked up to, and your relative got unalive.
Says the
Yeah,
rest.
may he rest in peace. He was yeah. So, how did you find out that that man was your that you was related to that man?
Because he's part of my great grandpa's family tree. Great grandpa had 32 kids. His 32 kids went and had a whole random amount, a number of kids as well. So the generations under my grandpa, Alejandro Ortega, forget about it. It's
Uh huh.
crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
I be bumping into third cousins, fourth cousins, fifth generation cousins, Ortega from Salcedo, and I'd be like, what? Yeah, I'm this person's son, that person, that person. I'm like, oh wow, you're my cousin fourth, twice removed. That's wild. I never thought that existed. Apparently, it does.
Trust me, the Roberts family alone. When I actually started dating my wife, right? I
Yeah,
found out that there was a whole tribe of Robuses that was
yeah,
related to me, and it was like I was like, damn.
in Bonao,
And
right?
then, yo,
That's right. You know how I know? Because my grandpa had a restaurant in Bonao in Caracas. You know what I'm saying? In la calle
huh,
Venezuela de Caracas, in Bonao.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
uh huh,
And in Bonao, there's nothing but, obviously, you're in DR, so there's nothing but Dominicans, but there's also nothing but Chinos who swear to God that they're Dominican as well. And I love them.
yep.
There's a bunch of Chinos and
One
a
of
bunch
the
of Japanese people. I love them.
yeah. Yo, talking about that, who's a good friend of mine. So whenever he comes to Philly, me and his son, the last time that he came over there, that he came to Philly, was him and his son, um, El Ninja and Chinito.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has the restaurant.
Yeah, or restaurants now, because now he's in Florida, and then whenever he's in Philadelphia, he goes to Bucan, well, I guess it's short for Buccaneer, but I don't know how the heck people calls it. But I just use the Spanish tag to say Bucan.
Yeah.
Whenever me and my wife go there, and we eat Dominican sushi and everything like that, I can tell you that the two times that I've been there and we met El Ninja,
I
he's
told you.
always gracious. He's always nice and everything like that. The first time that the first time when he came through, he was like, I was like, yo, babe, let's go right there. She was like, yeah, all right. When she ate the food, she was like, yo, this is amazing. The second time that the second time that we went, I went with my brother-in-law and my wife. We got pictures on it on Instagram. Chinito and Ninja, they were coming around talking to people and everything like that. I was like, otra vez.
He's
So
cool.
he's cool.
He's Dominican as hell, bro.
Yo,
Dominican as hell,
facts.
bro. I love
Nah,
that
nah, but you, nah, but you want to know
at
what it
all.
was
Unless he
that
spoke
I actually,
unless he spoke
yeah,
Spanish, you would not know. You would not know. It's
exactly,
that simple.
exactly. And you want to know what was funny, right? My friend. Shout out to Tommy Pena, by the way. My
Shout out.
friend, he went up and made a skit with El Ninja, right? So this is when El Ninja was in Miami.
Yeah.
So it was him and I guess another one. There was like, oh, that's Chino and everything like that. So Ninja went up and turned back and went up and used the Dominican curse word, of course. But he was like, hey, mira, pero soy dominicano. I was like, oh crap. I was like, yo, nah.
So
But talking about Asian Dominicans, there used to be when I used to live in the Bronx, right? There used to be a spot called Golden Mountain.
okay.
So my dad, always got food, which is either what is that, actual chicken and everything like that. I was like, okay. My dad always used to speak Spanish to the patrons and stuff. So over time, I used to go there. They got to know me and stuff, not by name, but they know my face. So one day, I was talking to one of the guys that used to work there. Golden Mountain doesn't exist anymore, sadly. It was a great restaurant. So I was talking to one of the guys right there, and I was like, "Yo, I went to Barrio Chino the other day when I was in Santo Domingo." He was like, "When I came to when I was born in Santo Domingo, there was no existed Barrio Chino when I was growing up." I was like, "Really?" And he was elaborating when he grew up in the Trujillo era and everything like that.
Oh yeah, there was no
That
body for real.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah, there was a few here and there scattered. Because even in San Pedro we have a few, but they were just scattered. Like
yeah,
now there's a
yeah.
official
So
cappuccino.
yeah, because it was like when it was like me and my cousin, we was walking right there. Like the only I could say it was like one Chinese girl that I actually seen in San Pedro. It was like, oh, so he's dating a China. I was like, yeah. He's like, they got mucho money for him. I was like, yeah, I know.
You were in San Pedro, or you were in Consuelo, San Pedro?
Nah, I was in San Pedro, San Pedro. Like, okay, when you go, because this is where my mom's house is at, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, Calle Trinitaria. When you walk up, you got the Nadu Church,
yeah,
and then when you turn around over there, my mom had a friend named Eridania, and then it was Eridania that went up and bet and introduced me to Big Daddy U. I
yeah.
was like,
Okay, okay. So I know exactly. I know exactly. Not who exactly you're talking about, but I know who that family is because I was friends with that girl's cousin.
yeah, but Eridania, the person that I'm talking about was not young. She was actually like my mom's age. She was older. So it was the older woman that went up and that introduced me to Big Daddy U. I think she passed away. So she was living right next side. So it was like when I saw Big Daddy U, I saw his father and I saw his mother. They were actually old in age. But I always said hi to them and everything like that. And it was Big Daddy U. It was his and it was his wife and it was his young son who actually who's actually in the big, I guess, in the big leagues now, I believe.
Yeah,
But I haven't seen him since. I only remember him when he was younger, walking around and everything like that. And whenever I used to walk around, he'd say, "Hey, how you doing?" Um, so that was like my introduction when it came to San Pedro music. Now, if I go to my old computer, I was the first one in the United States, and I could actually attest to this. That had the picture of Freddie Goldman and Vaquero and Big Daddy U right there.
cool.
I was the only. Yeah, that's how me and Freddie Goldman. He was talking for like a whole bunch of years and everything like that. And after like it was 2019 or so. I went up and I used to talk to Freddie Goma on WhatsApp, and he went up and he was like, "Yo, yo mando mi pésame, hermano." I was like, "Gracias." And I told him in Spanish that meant a lot because, and I still talk to his wife. Sometimes Amarini. Sometimes, she's in New York. Yeah. So it's like, well, me and Freddie, we always. I felt like, most of the times whatsoever, I actually really felt like a good brotherhood with that man because he always, like, whenever we spoke online and everything like that, he was like, he was always good. He always was like, "Yo, how you doing?" and everything like that. He was
Él
with the
era,
combo demo DJ.
él era pureza, loco. He was the representation of what a pure civilian is. He was a pure kind of person, bro. I
Yes,
miss
he
him.
was.
I miss him to death. Freddie Goldman was Freddie. My dad presented me to Freddie Goldman. You know what I'm saying? I used to hang out with my cousin and Freddie Goldman all the time. You know what I'm saying? And we used to talk about hip hop all the time. We used to mess with
Yeah.
the FL Studios, making beats. Like, it's
Hmm.
crazy, bro. It's so surreal, man.
Yeah, it was like that. When it was Freddie Goldman and everything like that, that's when I actually start, talking to him Bakero and everything like that. I'll tell you how I actually first talked to him Bakero. It was actually via MSN Messenger, right? So Vaquero used to live in the same street as my cousins
Right.
at the time.
Del lado
It was
atrás
it
del
was it was
liceo.
yeah, but it wasn't okay, but it wasn't for now that he was in now. It was like
No, because there's two houses now. But before, the house
yeah,
that he used to live at was where his dad used to live at. And it was right there in del lado atrás del liceo, de Gatón.
right. But the thing is though, when it was Ignacio Arias and I had one of my cousins, right? So how I hit up Vaquero, I didn't hit up directly. I went up and I talked to Unin. So I went up and I told Unin, I was like, yo, I am the cousin.
I remember when he was
Yeah,
a
I want to.
small kid. Now look at all these grown
Yeah,
ass kids, bro. It's crazy.
yeah. So I was actually, I got Frankie on my own Facebook, bro.
Cool.
Um, Frankie,
Francie.
Vaquero, yeah, Frankie, Vaquero's brother.
I know all of them, bro. They all know me.
I
I
know,
Yo, bro, I have history with that family, bro. I have history
I
with my
know.
with San Pedro.
Yo, but then talking about that, you must know my cousin. He's actually the dueño of Alexander PC out there. My cousin Roed.
You told me about that, but when he opened that business, I already had left. I haven't been back in a
Right,
long time. But I trust me, I know
right.
I know a lot of your family members, bro, because a lot of my cousins live in Consuelo. Whenever I would go chill with them, I was always bumping into people that was part of your family. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. And
San
then
Pedro is just one big tribe, bro. It's not no really a bunch of outsiders. The only outsiders we have are people that probably came to visit and decided that they weren't gonna leave ever again.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
I
bumped into
mean,
Americans over there that were like, "Oh man, I came for vacation." I bumped into a hillbilly. He said, "Man, let me tell you right now, boy. I came over here for a vacation for about a month, and it's been about 20 years. Oh man, I ain't going back to America."
yo, I wanna, yo, you ain't. I ain't gonna lie. When I was up in San Pedro, I bumped into French tourists. You know what I'm trying to say? They're walking up in El Parque and everything like that. Me and them, we just dapped and everything like that. We were talking just regular. Then then it was like around. It was like I can't really say the street, but I knew I was in Miramar. So I was in Myanmar, right? And I was eating some rice and beans. Now, in the other street or something like that, there was some Boricuas. I'm talking about 2005 and so, right? So when I went up to that place like around 2005, Boricuas went up and they actually set up shop. I was like, all right,
You were cerca del malecón, but not next to, not exactly on the malecón, right?
you're right,
All right, I
because
know
you
what
know,
you're
because you know,
talking about. That's the la final de la calle 20 en San Pedro. Antes de entrar para lo que es la rotonda de del malecón y Playa Muerto y Piedra Grande para allá atrás. Before it gets into that area, there's a spot that there's like these few stores and then a small strip. And that area
exactly.
is flooded with PR people. I don't know how that happened, but that's what happened.
Yo, dead. Yo, I remember one time I went to a club up in San Pedro, like it was in the Malecon, right? OMG, bro. When reggaeton was blasting up it, you kind of know what I'm talking about. When reggaeton was blasting, you remember that everybody who was listening to the first reggaeton, it was like reggaeton that everybody was listening to in the States, it already came out in PR. And then when it came out to PR, it went to DR,
Oh
and
yeah,
then it came to the States.
yeah, we knew about it first,
So
for real.
yeah, like for example, when my slow came out like in the United States, right? It was like around that time. Yeah, it was around that time that I think it was another album that it was another song that came out, if I'm not mistaken. It was like around 2005, and I was with I was with my little homie Brandy, and you know I was with his sister Marilyn. Shout out to the Quezada family, by the way.
Shout out
So
La
yeah,
Familia Payano. That's my peoples.
yeah, Quezada was full steady. So you know, shout out to all my people. Oh, I don't know where this man is at, but shout out to my homie Kyle Bonemi. You know what I mean?
All right, shout out.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like, let's see. Oh, on the sad news, you know, one of the young men, I forgot his name, but he recently passed in San Pedro, and he was actually a good friend of my younger cousin, because everybody was talking about him on Instagram. I was like, damn.
What was his
And
name?
I'll go and check it right now. Let's see.
Because if he was from Barrio Mexico, bro, I know everybody from Barrio Mexico. Literally. Yeah. Here, Joey. You're not Joey.
Bunny, give it to Joey.
No, Bunny cannot give it to Joey. Hey, kids, say Shout out to Chase and say happy birthday through the radio show.
All right. One,
Come on, you two.
two,
Two. Ready?
three.
1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday,
Happy
Chase.
birthday, Jace.
Yeah, he said thank you from all the way down the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him speak for the first time on live radio. Come here, Chase. Chase, come here, Papa. Come here,
All
puppy.
right.
Come here. You're gonna have your voice heard on live. All right. I want you to say hi. My name is
Yep.
Chase.
Hi.
My name is.
My
My name is Chase.
name is Chase.
And how old are you today?
Fall.
Yay!
Yay.
All right. It's your first time on a radio show. How do you feel?
Good.
Good, good.
That's what's up.
And I got my birthday.
Birthday cake?
Yeah,
Yep.
birthday cake.
All right, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
All right. Later.
I can't take care of a cake.
Okay. Later, guys. Okay, guys. We're still on live. That just came out. Are you going to pull up your pants? Yeah. Leave it to the older brothers, bro. Like, leave it to the older
Yeah.
brother. Like, hey, you're gonna pick up your pants? Like, bro, we're still on the radio.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, you're gonna get us discredited and then scrubbed. Like, what's going on?
I
Anyway,
know, right?
kids say the darnest thing.
Yeah,
Thank God there's bylaws for that.
I know, right? I mean, that
Okay,
reminds me of that. That reminds me of that old show that used to happen. That kids said the darndest things.
Bill Cosby. Yep. Um,
Yeah,
because of that bylaw, it's a bylaw that says that personally you can't control a child. If a child randomly wants to say
right,
something randomly, you can't control that. So what happens in that case is, if YouTube tries to shut you or cut you, you could fight it back and say it's not like I told that child to say that. It wasn't scripted,
right.
and it has to be pardoned because you cannot control what a child is going to splur out their mouth. You really can't control that.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, but one thing I could actually say that kids are a blessing. So that's all I gotta say.
I know that's right.
Yep. Now this is one like okay. It's like I was actually, you know what was funny, right? Like, okay, what's the body on like at the end of the Malecon, right? But then it's not like you're going to but then it's almost like you're going to Punta Pescadores.
All right. So you're saying the malecón all the way to the far right end.
Yeah.
All right. So when you start walking towards the right end, you're gonna bump into El Lado del Polo. You're gonna bump into a discoteca that's there. Brando's house used to be
Hmm.
there, and then there was another discoteca, and then it was the Howard Johnson.
Right.
After the Howard Johnson, there used to be a construction there that was abandoned, and then
Yeah.
after that, there was like an industrial zone that was also abandoned.
Yeah.
And then there's this big old conduct sewer pipe that I don't know what was going on there.
Right.
Hold on.
All right.
All right. We're about to sing happy birthday to Chase. To you.
To you,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, dear Chase.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday to
Are
you.
you one? Are you two?
It's
Are you
true.
three? Are you four? Okay,
That's
yay!
what's up.
Ready, blow on the candle. Go. Give me a second, brother.
Got you.
We're literally singing happy birthday for three different kids. Happy birthday. All right. We are back in full effect, live. This is the radio show. We are here to help you with your martial arts needs on the martial arts edition of the radio show. Um, as you know,
Hmm.
I'm Senpai Pete. I am originally New York born, raised in Dominican Republic. Came back to the States, finished my high school, went off to the Marine Corps, came back, became a chaplain. Now I am a martial arts instructor, safety chaplain for children, safety advocate for children, um, autism awareness, all types of stuff. Um,
Well, talking about that, right? Like, I'm not gonna go on and put certain people's business out there.
Yeah.
But I do know that I have friends and family members that their children are, that they have autism.
Yeah.
So so the thing is though, what is what is it that, because talking about autism awareness, sadly that there was a young boy that he suffered from that, and he sadly lost his life. And it was actually all over the news.
Okay.
So if a person is actually, you know, if he actually comes to that situation of autism awareness, what would that person, actually have to do and everything like that? Because there's a lot of people that need help because either they never experienced it or whatsoever.
I mean, what exactly is the question?
Like, okay, like, now I'm like the question is for people who are like, first time parents, and then they discover that their child have autism.
Okay. So what
Yeah,
advice should I give the parents? Is what you're asking me?
yeah,
I mean, all right. I'm gonna give it to you in the most professional way I can.
right,
At first awakening of knowledge of knowing that your child has um, what they want to call a mental disability. First thing you want to do,
right,
first thing you want to do as a parent is you want to guarantee to yourself that you know your child's safe, meaning that your child's condition is not a condition where um, they're sickening to the point where they're constantly sick, and they need constant medical attention, because there's different levels
right.
to everything. Saying if
Okay,
you have a child that is a functioning autistic, then
right,
chances are you're going to raise your child just fine, and there isn't going to be that much struggle. But if you're dealing with
all right,
um, a non, uh, uh, um, an, if you're dealing with a child that's autistic that is non-functioning, that um, they're doing the constant humming, constant banging, the constant, um, the constant nag and pull and pull of normal things.
right,
That it's not even selective hearing at this point. When they're non-functional, they just don't listen to what you have to say, because words and your words to them have no meaning. You know, a non
right,
a non-functioning autistic child can easily be in their own world with their own language, and they don't speak your language and you don't speak theirs. So there's no way that they're listening to you. They're not going to sit down, they're not going to fold their arms, they're not going to cross their hands. They're not going to do none of that. There's no sitting Indians.
right.
You know, it's it's what my friend calls tragic magic. Like, it's something where you have to be 100% supervision of that child, right? As
All
opposed
right,
as opposed to, once again, a functional working autistic child, what I'm saying, that probably needs some fine tweak in their motor skills, or some fine tweaking in their learning ability, or some fine tweaking in their speech, some fine tweaking in comprehension. There's there is not per se a remedy, but when it comes to it, parents, please, when it comes to autism awareness, you do not want to exercise patience when it comes with your child. And what I mean is this: when you exercise patience, you're going to lose that patience. So don't exercise patience. Understand that you are going to have to repeat yourself 100 times. Understand that you are going to have to repeat yourself 100 times, maybe in one day. Show to them that it's upsetting you that you have to repeat it, but also show to them that you care enough that even if they repeat it, you're going to be there to repeat it to them, for them to fix whatever situation they're going through. Because obviously, it's
right.
out of their control that they're doing what they're doing. The same way, it's
Exactly.
your control that they're doing what they're doing. So
All
honestly,
right.
if you're awakening to the understanding that your child has some type of disability, understand that all disabilities at the moment, especially if you're a person of faith, are temporary. Because God at any second can heal that child. And I believe it. I
I
believe
believe it too.
100%. But if there is a process going through, just remember that number one rule: do not exercise patience. Because if you exercise patience, you're going to lose it. Just remember that repetition is key. The more you repeat a certain rule or a certain moral, a certain guideline, the more they're going to understand it because it's a new language to them every time.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else?
Yes. Another question, and it's martial arts based, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, as you know, and we can't really predict anything because we may we don't know anything. So, what
What are you throwing away?
like let's put politics out the way, right?
Yeah.
What would you predict in the next 5 years that you would see more of the American public learning martial arts, or this still going to be like a bubble when it comes to the martial arts?
I'm gonna cross-reference our last conversation with this conversation because in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, we're gonna be seeing the discovery of a lot of more autistic children and even more autistic parents. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that grew up with autism that didn't even know they had it and are finding out now after
Wow.
they become adults.
Yeah, because I did hear about the autistic spectrum,
Correct.
and I have a friend that they seen and everything like that. They didn't know what was going on, but now there was like that now they actually recognizing that they had with the autistic spectrum, meaning that you will not know what they were on, that there was that or anything like that. But then I guess when they actually had evaluation or self evaluation,
Right.
that's what happened. Yo, manda
So,
saludo a mi gente, Jarin Leonardo.
Jarin, what's up, brother?
Okay.
Saludo.
Yeah, that's my homie from TikTok. He's a good dude though.
That's
He
what's up.
been, he always yeah, he always supports me. So shout out to Harim. That's my homie from Brooklyn.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, question:
Yeah.
when you see children with syndrome of Down, do you think that's the only thing they have?
My professional take on it, I
Yeah.
can't I can't really
Can't
judge
call it. Can't
if
call
that's
it. All right.
if,
I'm gonna tell you like
yeah, I
this.
can't call it.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Down syndrome makes most people with Down syndrome look the same. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with their brain. All right. The aspect of the mental issue is that there's other mental complications going on with children that are born with it. But some children can be born
Mm,
with Down syndrome and look and have all the stages of Down syndrome and still have a genius level brain. And you wouldn't know it because all you're seeing is the face, not understanding that behind that face is a genius.
mm. That's why I say I can't really call it because at the end of the day, I've known people, and the reason why I say that I've known people that they're functioning adults, they drive a car and everything like that, and they still and they have that disease. A matter of fact, I'll tell you who it was. When I was actually a kid, right? There used to be a TV show that showed a young boy with, I guess, cerebral palsy, if you could call it, or Down syndrome.
Cerebral palsy.
So I can't, like I said, when it says cerebral palsy or Down syndrome, I'm gonna be honest. I'm ignorant of the two things,
Correct.
but because I've heard them being used
That's correct,
interchangeably.
brother Leonardo. People with Down syndrome are very loyal people because they don't know what betrayal is. They don't know what it is to be betrayed.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying? All they know is
exactly,
love that they were raised with. So that's what they're going to give back in return. Now, if you deal with someone with Down syndrome that has been betrayed, of course they're not going to open their heart to you because they've already been betrayed. But normally, people with Down syndrome are very loyal people. That's a fact.
that's a fact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's like, and it's like, you know, and it was a show when I was growing up, so I could say that I had a tolerance for people who are like that. I don't try to make fun of them because at the end of the day, like if you even try to make fun of them, 9 times out of 10,
I might
it's
punch
gonna
you in
come
the
back
face.
to you plentyfold. That
YouTube,
too.
don't violate me for this, but if you make fun of someone with Down syndrome in front of me, my military PTSD might lash out at you, and I might punch you in the face because I'm thinking you're being a bully, and I don't like bullies. Hoorah!
Me neither.
Just saying,
Yep.
we're all God's children.
And
We're all God's children. There's different
exactly.
level. There's different levels to us. Some of us are stronger than others. God forbid you think that because someone's weaker than you, you're gonna bully them in front of me, and I'm gonna let that chill. Nah, this fist is
Nope.
gonna chill in your face, real quick.
Exactly.
Just saying. Not trying to be
Yep.
violent. You know, just expressing the
I
martial.
mean, exactly. I mean, like if you really look at it, right? It's like okay. I'm gonna segue off of it because and I'm gonna say this. And and in recent events and everything like that, when it's regarding the martial arts, mental health, and everything like that, what would in your martial aspect, what do you think that the alleged victims of P Diddy could have done different? We're just talking about the martial aspect of it.
I mean, I'm sorry for laughing because this is a serious situation, but I'm gonna be as thorough as possible, brother. If these alleged victims would have been martial artists, they wouldn't have been victims.
I mean, yeah,
They would have saw through the diddler's bull, and they would have killed the cow. I'm just saying. They wouldn't have been victims, and if they would have been victims, it was going to only be one time, and then the victim was going to be whoever the diddly diddly. Just punning, just doing big pun real quick. So yeah, nah, bro.
I hear you.
What would have went down different? What would have went down different is that he wouldn't have been around for that long. Because when too many bones start to break in your structure, it ruins the time span that you have on Earth. Saying you don't know how many enzymes and the white blood cell system, how much struggle they have to go through to re-amend one of those bones and certain tissues and muscle fibers and nerves and whew, I'm saying next thing you know, you took 17 years off your life because you did something that you weren't supposed to do. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro, for real. That's just things that happen, man. Things that come and go. For real. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm back. I was just talking to my wife and everything like that. So
it was cool. I was just shouting out at the kids right now too that it's bedtime. It's time to go.
yeah. Hmm.
Not nighttime. La La Land. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, see, brother.
Yeah.
It's good to be alive, man. I remember I remember not last month, but I know definitely last month I was talking about it. I was talking about my back pain and how good or bad it was, and how messed up I felt. I couldn't lean forward. If I needed to bend down to grab something, I had to go. I had to go sideways. I had to do it sideways, like if I was doing a side kick or something to grab stuff from the floor. It was crazy. And now I'm at the point where I can I can lean forward a little bit more again. And I did like how I like to do exercise. One of my senpais taught me that one of the best ways of doing exercise is just dancing. And while you're dancing, try to incorporate some martial arts into it. So I did like a 30-minute dance routine slash martial arts kick, punch, elbow, knee combination mixed with some sticks, which we call carenza. I did some carenza real quick for like 30 minutes and I feel great, bro. Like my body's definitely getting better. I'm feeling much better. You know, my back is getting back to normal. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about to start doing those things I used to do before, my spinning tornado kicks and all that. Martial arts is definitely
Yep.
good to teach your children, Jaron. I've been in martial arts since I was 5 years old. I'm 42 now. And I can kick way above my head from the front or from the side. And that's pretty dangerous enough to me. If someone comes talking, flip flop to you, and you got some Tims on, and you hit that Shawn Michaels sweet chin music from out of nowhere, that's like NBA jams from downtown. It's a rap. People think that them boxing gloves hit hard. Them Tims hit harder. That's a solid fact.
Yep. And Jaren right there, that's my dude and everything like that. And even though I met him on TikTok and everything like that, one thing I could actually say that I respect for the stuff that he actually stands on. And for my little short time on TikTok, I could actually say that he's a good supporter. Whenever I go back to New York, the, you and Irene, I gotta link up with both of y'all. Um, after the show, Pete, I'm gonna go tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you something behind the scenes on a person that on a person why you would respect them more. But I'll tell you behind the scenes, though.
Understood.
Yeah,
All right. Well, whenever we do that meeting and you pull up to New York and I meet the bro, he'll get a free stick lesson as well. We'll pay for
yeah.
it together.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that way I could do one lesson and y'all both get it. as opposed to giving you a lesson and then giving him a lesson when I meet him. I give y'all both a lesson. Right here, boom.
Exactly. Yo, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking that with that within that I've seen this guy that he actually does his stuff like on like in Chinatown and such.
Okay,
And you remember when it was the Asian hate crimes and stuff. And one day, and there was a lot of people in the forefront that was like, "Yo, you're not gonna go around and treat our people like that." And I actually backed it because I have I have a cousin, and he has a child who is half Dominican and half Chinese. You get what I'm trying to say?
cool.
So I'm not. The reason why I went up and I sided with with the Stop Asian 8 because I'm like, yo, I'm like, I don't want to. I was doing that for my own for my little cousin. I don't know her, but I could tell you that that I have a lot of love and respect for the for the Chinese culture, and for people to go around and when it was like, oh, COVID, you want to go and attack certain people just because of a perceived thing that happened. If anything, you don't go around and attack people just because of your brainwashing or anything like that.
Correct.
People and the governments are two different things. For example, a person could go around, like say for example, Iranian people and American people could be cool, right?
Yeah.
We have nothing wrong. We have nothing wrong with each other. But when it comes to governmental functions, the United States government, the Iranian government. Now we don't like each. Now the governments don't like each other, and we have propaganda about each other. Let's keep it 100.
Yep.
But if we were to, but if it was Iranian people and American people, minus the propaganda and everything like that, we were actually get along. We're talking about people, not politics.
I bet, bro. It's like this. It's like this. Race is a name. Race is not a cultural gender. Race is a name. In other words, oh, where were you born? Oh, I was born in this country. Oh, so that makes you a this. That doesn't necessarily mean that now all of a sudden you have to fit in a cultural thing of something that happened 200, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You are who you are as a person individually. Just because you were born in a certain country doesn't mean that you are from that country. Like I'm the one to turn around and say that I'm Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Italian, I'm Spaniard. You never hear me say, "Oh, I'm American." What is American? What is that? American is not a culture. I'm American. What is that? Because you were born in America. That's it. That's all you know. That doesn't mean that you're American. You don't know nothing about America. What makes you American? That you were born here? So it'd be like people will have like the stereotype. Oh, you were born over here, so you're a this, and those people are like that because we think like that. No, America got it wrong in a lot of things. You go to third world countries, and it's very, 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 very different. Even enemies talk to each other. They say good morning to each other. It's not a fight every day. America want to make it seem
Right.
like what it is on TV. America want to make it seem like what we see on TV and movies and cable, like that's what's going on in real life. No, what's going on in real
Like,
life?
like,
Mhm.
like for example, and we ain't gonna go around and see it, but think about it: the Kamala and Donald Trump debate, right?
Yeah,
Whoever wins, whoever loses, right? We will never see this, and the press will never see this. 9 times out of 10, you don't know what these politicians are actually talking behind the scenes, because everything behind the scenes is not that serious on how the populace makes it think. If you get what I'm trying to say.
A lot of these people have a great public view. That doesn't mean that their private view isn't ugly, wicked, and diabolical. A lot of these people look great on camera, and that doesn't mean that that's it. We only know what we see on the camera. Oh, this person's running for this. This person's running for that. Look how well dressed they are. That doesn't mean nothing. They could be running a whole devil show. You know what I'm saying, in the background.
Yeah,
And now they're gonna
yeah,
come
which
forget about it.
oh yeah, which ties into what I'm about to say next. We're gonna talk. We're gonna actually put this thing in the forefront. $1,000 baby oil man. That's all we're gonna say.
Okay.
So thousand bottle baby oil man.
Yo,
Cause
that's too
I was
much.
like,
That's too much lube.
yo, yo, I was like, when that news came, when that news came out, me and my wife was just laughing yesterday, yo. I'm like, I've had the same bottle of baby oil for like maybe 2 or 3 years. What does a billionaire has to go and use 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
Bro,
And
I found out today, and the sources said it was 1,000 bottles of mixed stuff between lube and oil. That's a lot of
uh,
bottles. And if it's a
yeah,
miscellaneous thing, miscellaneous means there were flavors and there was anesthesiatics and all types of stuff. What, a
yeah.
1,000 bottles? Really?
And
A
then
thousand?
and then when I went up and then when I posted it on my TikTok, they was like, well, you got to be honest because think about it. If if Denver went up and had a whole bunch of he was flying planes and everything like that. He had women who participated in adult entertainment and everything like that.
Hmm.
And then they have to go and oil themselves up or whatever. I guess it could be possible that that was for them, but even still, like, geez, that must be that like if you have a private plane and everything like that, that must be one oily plane. You have all of that in
Speaking of the
that in the
no,
house and
no, hold
such.
on. You just said something that caused a foot staple in America and gave America a reality check. Like if the president isn't a real person. Yo, they
Right.
blew up this man over this stupid Monica Lewinsky blowjob thing. They blew this man up so hard. And meanwhile, you got all these people in the background doing all these evil deeds, and you don't see none of them being spoken about. Why?
You know what I think? What's funny? If you really look at it, right? And I hate to say it when it pertains to all of us as a collective, but when you come to the United States, but when it comes to the United States and you see melanated people who are in power, right? But then when they do something which is out of the power structure, you will actually see these things manifest. Let's put it like this, for example. Now, for example, we're going to use Bill Cosby, right?
Hmm.
Before his allegations and he went to jail and everything like that, he wanted. A lot of people are not going to know this, and this is going to go over people's heads. He wanted to buy the CBS company. So when he went up and bought the boot, when he wanted to try to buy that company, and he couldn't. That was one thing that certain people did not like. So certain people who are in power, I'm not going to really say their names or what they are because YouTube will demonetize them. We'll try to demonetize or shadow ban us or whatever. So I'm going to use the politically correct term for the people, the financially protected class. We all know who we're talking about, and that's all I got to say.
Facts.
So talking about hip hop, I used to like Rock Ness and Sean Price, and then on top of it, um,
Rest in peace,
OGC, the
Sean P.
original,
Rest in peace, Sean
exactly.
P. The GOAT.
Yep.
The
I
GOAT.
used to yeah, I used to like OGC, the original gun clappers,
I
duck
basically just
down.
mentioned them right now. Fab Five and Helter Skelter. It's basically what Boot Camp Click was. OGC, Fab Five, Helter Skelter. They were all the same team. They just had different names so they can get different paychecks from different angles. They were very smart. Very, very smart.
Exactly.
We're gonna
And,
give one of these
and
away. And if one gets cut off, we're gonna have three more.
exactly. You know what? Shout out to Drew Ha for doing that. You know what I mean? Drew Ha is a genius. I have I have mad respect for that guy.
Respect, brother. Shout out.
Yep. Black
Yo,
Moon. Hmm.
my mind is being flooded right now with songs from Helter Skelter, but yeah, now the bro just mentioned Black Moon, and now my head is going crazy.
Now talking about hip hop, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go around and I'll ask y'all a question. You and Harim. When was the first time you ever saw Big Pun? Not heard of Big Pun,
Saw him?
saw Big Pun.
Oh, I can't even say.
Yeah. The first video.
I can't even say. I can't even say. I don't remember. I know I did, but I don't remember exactly
No,
where.
all right, Harim. When was the first time you saw Big Pun? We're not talking about hearing Big Pun. We're just talking about seeing Big Pun.
I don't know rights to this.
Hmm.
I don't own the rights to this,
I don't. Yeah,
but I had to put
yeah,
that on. All right, that's
yeah,
good enough. That's good enough. We all know
yeah.
who
So
I'm.
yeah, fair use, fair use, fair use. I have to go and put that banner right there. Fair use, fair use. All right. Now, with that said, I'm gonna go. All right. Now, I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna shock the heck out of both of y'all.
Hit me.
Hmm. What was the track? The only track that you have Keith Murray, Prodigy, Foxy Brown, LL Cool J, and Fat Joe.
LL Cool J was in it too, right?
Yep.
Damn. Wasn't it that I shot your remix?
Yes, that video. That was the first time I saw Big Pun in that in that video.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually a LL Cool J song. Everybody else was featured.
Right. But Big Pun was the only one in the and Big Pun was the only one in the video, and nobody knew the lyrical genius that was going to come out years later.
That part.
Exactly.
Um,
So,
gotta put my phone in charge. Right. Gotta put that to charge.
yep.
Do that in a few. It's a good thing I have the show on my laptop because if I would have had it on my phone, huh, I would have had to come back like, oh no, I got kicked out the show.
Yeah. I mean,
It happens all the time.
hopefully, I know. I'll be like, hopefully, if I make my basement and I'll put the padding and everything like that, there's gonna be some good things that's gonna happen, bro.
That's what's up, man.
Yep.
Like always, man. Congratulations as a Petro Macorizano. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You're
Thank you.
definitely also you're definitely a good example of someone born in the States, raised in Dominican Republic with high standard morals and respect. I have a lot of respect for you. You know, God bless
Thank
you
you.
many, many, many times full, man.
Thank you, bro.
Jaring,
Yeah.
I'm a very, 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 very strong 90s um, rap era person to the extent where most of my masterpieces, because I'm a producer as well, most of my masterpieces from my beats, my beat collection, are boom bap 90s style hip hop that'll rock your socks. You'll be like, yo, this will bring hip hop back. But everybody wants to hear everyone sound the same, like how they do on the radio. Ahem.
It's like down here in Philly, right? You have like you got rappers who are amazing. I mean, man, lyrical and everything like that.
I love
But
it.
the thing is though, but the thing is though, right? That now the younger generation, you got all these I hate to say this because you have some of these drill artists out here in Philadelphia. I was like, yo, I'm listening to them. I'm like, next. I don't want to listen to this. You know, this is whack. Now, shout out to Vodka and another guy that that they're underground, but they can spit. They're not with that. Oh, I want to try to sound the same or anything like that. It's just straight bars. So that's why I like straight bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I'm just going around and chill. I don't want to go around and listen to a guy by the name of Skrilla that actually making a song that is not that's unintelligible. And then on top of it, he actually that's actually unintelligible. And then he has a whole bunch of drug addicts dancing to a beat that's not danceable. Let's be honest. It's like the worst music ever, in my opinion.
Abomination. Abomination.
Yeah,
People that
pretty
are not
much.
people that are not contributing to the hip hop culture. These people are contributing to the devil's culture and the enemy.
Exactly. Or they're just contributing to pure whackness. Like there's a guy by the name of Juno Miles, right? This guy, I just listen to him because it's comedy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't take him seriously as a rapper, but the stuff that he does, like his antics, it's funny. But I will not blast that in the car. But it's like, yo, it's like, okay, imagine you having a bad or stressful day, right? And you could go and you could listen to, 90s R&B, or you can listen to something or early 2000s R&B, or maybe the 1950s or 1960s R&B, right? So you can mellow out. But imagine that you're just like, screw this or whatever, right? And then all of a sudden you just thumb into YouTube and you see this guy's like, okay, man, I don't want to see, I don't want to see this. You think it's just another rapper, right? But now this guy is actually putting comedy into his whackness. Like, okay, yeah, homie's whack. He's not spitting on bars or anything like that. But what he's saying is actually funny. Yeah, so you could tell that this guy's not talented, and then the stuff is that he's actually doing this for clout. But the only thing is, the way what separates him from the whack unfunny rapper is that he's actually just doing this for comedy. And the video is just straight up comedy. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. You know what? I agree with you, Jody.
It's true. It's a very and it's a generational thing. You understand me? Because when hip hop started, it was about being positive and it was about uplifting the culture. Now hip hop is about bringing people down and being high all the time. Like I don't understand.
Like, I mean, then on top of it, you have another aspect of it, right? I hate to say, but there's certain stuff that are coming out right now that is like that back in the '90s and stuff will never be tolerated. You know what I'm trying to say?
For real.
So yeah, like say for example, right? We're not gonna go. You ain't gonna go like say around 1997, 1998, right? And you were supposed to be, a macho man and everything like that. You wearing a purse. No, bro. I mean, it was a time that people who was looking out in New York thought that since Cameron was wearing pink all the time, they thought that everybody in New York was wearing pink. Not me.
I'm not. Pink is my favorite color for other reasons. I don't wear pink. You know, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
peace.
It's my it's
Rest in peace to the lead singer of Aerosmith. By the way, that was one of his songs. Pink is my favorite color.
mhm.
Remember that guy? Janie's got a gun. Loving the elevator. Rock and roll, bro.
Yeah.
Aerosmith? No, no, no,
Yep.
no. Walk this way.
Yep.
No. Yes.
I remember. Yeah, I remember Aerosmith. I Basically grew up on that music, kind of.
Exacto. Exacto. Rest in peace to that. That was a goat right there, bro. That was a real goat right there.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, man. Shout out to the goats, man. They're leaving one at a time, bro. New goats are
yeah,
rising.
man.
New goats are rising every day now.
Yeah, it's like shit, it's it's actually crazy because rest in peace to Tito Jackson, and I'm gonna tell you why. We're gonna give that man his flowers. You know what I'm saying? His three sons are the perfect example of February. You get what I'm trying to say? Not only they're African American, and for the African Americans, it's it's Black History Month, right? But also in February is El Mes de la Patria. Where I'm going with this is because when Tito got uh, when Tito got married, he was he got married to a Dominican lady who was actually born in New York. Sadly, she was unalived by a creep. I just call that because even though that there was divorce and everything like that, an innocent woman deserve did not deserve what she had done to her. So rest in peace to to that lady. Because of that lady and Tito, we have three TJ. Now a lot of people do not know about their double heritage, but at the same time, shouts out to Tito Jackson and his memory. So, rest in peace to him. A lot of people have said that he was the one that actually told Joe Jackson about the talent of the other brothers. So, shouts out to him. May he rest in peace.
Shout out. Big shout out.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I'm gonna start clocking it in. I gotta
I hear you, bro.
start putting the kids to sleep. They got school tomorrow and whatnot.
I hear you, bro.
Right. Jaron, nice having you by. Blessings to you. Blessings to the family. Blessings to your friends. Um, like always, PK Darkness, Senpai Pete signing out. Um, us.
Us, Senpai Dominicano.
Eso somos, papá. Eso sí somos. Allá.
Ah, yeah. All right, bro. Yeah, so I'm just gonna chill here for a few minutes and everything like that before I go and take it down. Now, Harim, what I'm gonna actually have this show every Wednesday and such. So what's going to happen, and what me and Pete are actually working on is we're trying to actually have the backstory of how the martial arts came to the Dominican Republic, official and unofficial sources. So I might go to Dominican Republic maybe this year or next year, depending on how I feel and everything. so I could actually get the backstory because it's a story that needs to be told. Certain people are not actually investigating on it or anything, but I just came up with this concept because I was talking to Pete and he was talking to another martial arts master, and he went up and he said that kung fu, it actually like the first kung fu school, maybe it is or not. I don't know if it's in the records that the first kung fu school actually came to the town of San Pedro de Macorís in the 1950s. Now, I don't know this backstory of that, but I do know that around the 1970s, before the untimely passing of Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee came to the Dominican Republic, and there's photos, there's archives about that. So that had just got me thinking: is there a backstory about how the martial arts came to the Dominican Republic? So I'll actually will try to collect knowledge, write it down, and then see if we could actually develop a backstory about that. Exactly. There's other stories that need to be told also. I mean, I've seen documentaries and everything like that on YouTube, but but there's another story that I want to actually get done also. So I might have to go to Dominican Republic as well, or I have to talk to my elders in New York about that. So and Boston. Okay, so I have to talk to my elders in Boston, Detroit, New York, maybe possibly Florida. Hmm. Well, in any case, I might have to do all that. So with that said, good night and check us out next week. Exactly. The only thing is though, if I do go to San Pedro, the person that I do want to talk to, hmm, I'll have to talk to his son about this. The person that I really want to talk to. But in that case, I will see y'all later. Stay safe. And this has been Open Topics with Don Armando, the martial arts edition. Peace.